Anybody out there going through it? Is there anybody out there going through it? Anybody out there going through it? Is anybody out there going through it? If you are, don't. I won't say don't be scared to talk about it, but, be brave to talk about it. My thing is that if you going through it, there's probably like 2 or 3 or 1,000 other people that's going through the same thing you're going through. I think it's by design. It's by design. So why wouldn't it be like a collective of people that's not going through it? This might be a wash tonight, but like I was hoping to have a good conversation with some people tonight. Because it doesn't seem like any other conversation with any other people around me is like fulfilling. We're talking about football or something. Or, oh, did you see what happened on the game last night? Or just like some dumb shit that I just don't want to talk about. Excuse my language. This live doesn't have to be anything. I'm just seeing if anybody was out there in the ether. If there's anyone out there in, what do you call it? The cybosphere. I'm gonna just stay online for a little bit until I'm ready to go to sleep. Maybe we could get a good conversation going. Oh my God. Not tonight, Charlie. We're not gonna sit here and wait for you to come back in. You can come out with me in the back door. Come on. Come on. Man, hey, how y'all doing? I'm getting comments now. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank you guys for joining. Minister difficult. That's it, man. I'm dropping the mister and I'm doing minister because I'm nobody's mister. Hello,
Hey brother, how you doing, man?
man. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. It's like every day, like you might find something new and then you get discouraged because it's like, damn, I thought I figured it out, but I got like 10 more steps to do.
10 more, yeah, bro. No, it's the same for me. Like even just listening to all the different people and that guy, the minister, what's he, chaplain, C chaplain, whatever he is,
Yeah.
when he came on that day, man, I was blown away with all of the different things he was saying about, the postage and the stamps and oh, it was just blowing me away, to be fair, bro.
Yeah, like here's the thing though, right? Um, you want to be too like ready to trust everybody.
Absolutely.
But it's like when we're on this platform and we're like, oh my God, oh, this is something I've never seen before. And I know this is all stuff that's been kept from me. And, all this stuff, like, the lies and all that. So, like, whenever you see something that seems like it's real, man, I dive into it like I'm in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean the only mistake I made, I wasn't taking notes that night. I was like, I should have been screen recording everything you was doing.
Oh, bro, it's on my YouTube, man. Just go to my YouTube. The whole video is on my
Oh, right,
YouTube.
okay,
Man, I
sweet,
don't
sweet,
care.
sweet.
Let them come get me, bro. Let them come
I
get me.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Man, I'm down like not down, but I'm behind like about 2 lives right now as far as like posting the replays to YouTube because I mean, here's the thing, folks go live all the time. And then when the live is done, look what happens then? You know?
Yeah, we lose it. Like, how do you record it? Just on normal screen
TikTok
capture,
does,
screen
bro.
record?
TikTok does. If you have live, then TikTok records it and then they'll what's the word? I mean, all any live you have stays active for 30 days. After 30 days, they delete it.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. I thought it was instantly gone. So is it
Yeah, bro.
only available to you?
Well, yeah, it's only available to the host who hosts
Okay,
it. Yeah.
okay. That's very useful.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, like this is too good. I downloaded it straight from TikTok and I uploaded it to my YouTube because I mean you gotta be able to preserve it, man. Come back and watch it. Because I mean that's the people building. This is history.
So what new steps have you found out that are new well that are different, that are throwing you off?
What do you mean new steps?
You said like just when you feel like you've come close to figuring something out and then you find out there's 10 new steps.
Fuck. I just had 2 lighters and like now I can't find one. What the hell? Um
Anything new you've learned basically that you'd like to share?
I learn something new every day, man. I learn something new every day. But like everything brings me back to the everything brings me back to the foundation. It's that like these people who are like quote unquote charging us with crimes.
Mhm.
They're criminals, man. They're criminals.
Absolutely, man. I'm trying to figure out how I can help. There's this guy in my country in England.
Yeah.
He is trying to expose the whole system that takes people's children, sorry, shall I say youths, off of them, um, and the whole adoption system and things like that. And I was like trying to understand, trying to find a way to help the average people who are having their children taken off of them or their youths taken off of them. Um, what would you recommend as far as like trying to help people understand the what they've done, like the whole, what's the word? Because we're when we sign birth certificates, we become the custodians, the
Hmm.
custod. You become the custodian of of your child. So what would be the best way to go about,
Like
in
I
your opinion?
like hold on. Like I just like because this is where like class comes in, right? So like people come in and they teach class, right? They teach you class. Do they keep? And God, I don't want to be like. All right, I'm just gonna speak frankly, okay? Let me speak frankly, okay? We like everybody is like wrapped up in processes because if I do XYZ, then I can get XYZ. If I do ABC, then I can get CDF, you know? But it's like my thing is like what are we trying to get? Ultimately, what I'm saying is I just want to be free and I want to be left alone. And how do you get that? And it's
I
like
guess it just
and
depends on what you're happy with.
this is what you asked me. You asked me what did I learn recently? And this is what I've learned recently. It's like everybody's everybody's trying to do this, trying to do that, just to get the government off their back.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? I lost both my lighters. I had two lighters and like I can't find either one.
Toaster time.
Huh?
Toaster time.
Right. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm gonna be looking for the lighter the whole time while I'm on this live. How is it not in my car? I'm sorry. I don't mean to distract or
Oh, good.
distract. But man, I don't know, man. My thing is this: everybody got a problem, right? And I can't speak for somebody who actually hurt someone, but 90% of us, we haven't hurt a soul. We have not hurt a soul. Walking in a body on this so-called planet they call Earth. You know, most of us has never hurt anybody. We just want to be left alone so we can do our thing, right? Do your thing. If you got kids, raise your children. You know, if you ain't got no kids, you ain't got no wife, you're not married. You just trying to be left alone.
And be creative. Produce.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to be left alone to be creative and be in
Exactly.
my element, produce, and instead of just being a consumer. That's what my last
Exactly.
few years of trying to have been about,
Hmm.
really. Just trying to find peace of mind. Um, because you just get two types of people nowadays. You get the blue pilled who are in perpetual bliss, and then you get the red pilled that are stressing. They are stressing over everything.
Yeah.
There's like not much of an in between.
That's the thing, right? So I'm just like this. I've only started like TikToking in October of 2023. That's when I started. It was like October 19th or something like that. 2023. That's when I started TikToking, making TikTok. I uploaded one, and then within a week I had 10,000 viewers. So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, well yeah, man. Now I'm a content creator. Let's do this," you know. And then, excuse me. Once I got into it, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell, like, divulge this, just like don't tell people. But the very first month, I made $2,500,
Wow.
right? And you can see why. Like, but the thing is, I'm putting out videos because I'm trying to learn things, and all I'm doing is putting out what I've learned. But I'm still making money because I haven't worked since June of last year. I'm not going back to work. I can't do it, bro. Like after I've learned, I can't go back to like clocking in and going to meetings and you know listening to this guy like he's trying to tell me what to do. I can't do that no more, bro. I can't.
Oh, I gave that up a long time ago, bro.
That's good. But it's like most people can't because if I had kids and all that, like a wife and all of that, I would have to go back to work. But like I feel like I'm in a rare position to where I don't have to right now. Like I could probably make it until like the end of the year. I could probably make it to the end of this year. But after that, I'm just like, if like I don't figure out how to be free, then I'm gonna have to go back to slaving.
Yep.
Do you have a Do you have any of the agents coming after you?
You mean TikTok agents?
Well, well, I mean, that's harder to divulge other than like agents of the state coming after you. Like, do you have any
Oh,
agents?
um, no, not really. No. I mean, just other than like just bills, like no, there's no one really coming after me for anything.
Right.
Because I'm just trying to observe like people who are doing more than me. I'm not doing much as far as the whole paperwork kind of thing and stuff like that. I became quite anti-establishment a long time ago, and I was like, I just didn't want to be filling in forms, and I didn't want to walk into establishments to get this or that, and I just do the bare minimum. Um, when it comes to those sort of things, I stay away from big cities. I'm in a really
When did you start doing that?
probably about 7 years ago.
Right.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh no, I can now. Sorry, you just cut out for a
Right.
sec.
Like I got to go outside. Like I got to keep walking because I can't stand in one place at one time. That's just like I
Okay,
guess. Yeah. But I'm sorry, brother.
all good.
But
No, I'm fortunate because I'm a barber, and like I get everything at once. I make music at home, and I do my barbering from home, so I get to socialize even when people didn't get to socialize. I got to socialize. I mean, a lot of people don't have those kind of benefits of having
at time,
yeah having cool people you can socialize with.
and having the
Um,
time to do so. Like there's cool
yeah,
people everywhere, but like everybody's got to go to work, right?
yeah. So I was just lucky that I could make my work what I enjoyed, and I say I feel free, but obviously I know as far as this paperwork thing, I'm not free. Um,
Mm, see, I mean, because you've been sold on the paperwork, right? Because, like, here's the thing, right? You've been sold on the paperwork, right? But before you knew about the paperwork, you thought you was free,
Blue pilling, yeah.
right? Like before I got arrested, I was like, because I'm working a job. I'm getting like over 100K a year being a programmer. That's who I was, right? So like I wasn't worried about like, man, as long as I get my paycheck every 2 weeks, my paycheck was like almost $2,300 every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, well, man, I ain't worried, but man, go get a lawyer with your broke ass and all that. That's how I was thinking until I got locked up. But by the time I got locked up in 2021, like I had been kind of looking around, because I've always been a conspiracy guy, but I never thought to look towards the courts. Like the courts are supposed to be there for us. Until I had to go in there and actually do it myself and to realize that the courts are not for us. It's for them. That's why they have their own set of rules.
absolutely.
They have their own set of rules. I don't care what country you in, bro. Cause you're in UK.
Yeah.
Now I don't know much about the UK, but I got two brothers and one sister that was born in the UK. Cause my dad left Jamaica and he went to the UK before he came to America, and he made three babies there that we know of. So I've got
Oh,
family in the UK, bro. You know what I mean?
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man. Like I mean, we my dad wasn't the only Jamaican that left Jamaica and went to England.
Well, they call a lot of Jamaicans call the UK the motherland. I mean, I don't know what you know about the Moorish origins and stuff like that, but yeah, a lot of the Moors originated in the UK.
Feel free to speak.
What was my breaking point? Are you talking to me or are you talking to Mr. Difficult? My breaking point was my daughter being born. That was when I was like, okay, I need to do something better for her because I knew from an early age that this what this system was about, and it was just a matter of trying to learn as much as I could, and I didn't have enough people around me. Now we have technology and we're able to talk to people without having to type long paragraphs. And I think this has been withheld from us for a long time. And we got to make the most of it before we're not able to do it anymore. Because I think the internet has been the biggest problem for the man. It's they've had to do a lot of damage limitation for like everything that came out, stereo, Clubhouse, Discord, like live streaming on TikTok, Google Hangouts, all those kind of things. It allowed people to connect on a different level. Before, all we had was toxic messages towards each other in like Facebooks and stuff like that. And it kind of revolutionized communication. So like I think we got to just use it as much as we can right now before there's like an internet book burning. So
That's a good point. Yeah, a book burning.
mm,
But like they say they have book burnings, but from what I've heard, and I mean you could call it conspiracy if you want to, but there are like what I've heard is there's like vast libraries like underneath the Vatican, you know. And it's like here's the thing, right? Vast libraries of his stories of of the real truth of the past. And what do? Instead of like putting it in books and putting it into the schools, they put it into Hollywood, okay? Because these people are privy to the old knowledge that we don't know, but they give it to us in movies, They give it to in movies, and it's portrayed as it's not real, you know?
Yeah.
But is it not real? It might be real. But it's real on a level that we don't know because it's so metaphorical.
What I call it concurrent conditioning instead of predictive programming. I think it's everything is just conditioning for what's about to happen, for whatever fake psyop simulated event is about to happen.
Yes, yes. See, now we can get into conspiracies because I like conspiracies too. But I don't want to get banned off of TikTok. But I'm not making no money off of TikTok right now. So like, look, I don't want to ban them because I have this platform,
Yeah.
you know. But and that's to me that's better than the money that I've made off of it because I get to connect with the people. I get to talk to people who are of like mind. But like you said, I mean, what do we know? We don't know anything but what we've been taught. Because when you get here on Earth, right, you don't know nothing. You're a baby. You're a baby. You don't know nothing. And I mean, when I was coming up in school, right? By the time like I hit like maybe like ninth grade, we still had workshop in our schools, like teaching people how to cut wood and like make studs and build things.
Hmm.
We don't got that anymore. Cause you know why?
'Cause
Go ahead.
no, no, finish your point.
I mean, saying the only reason why is because that's freeing. It makes you independent. If you could build your own house, why would you need to mortgage a house, right? If you can build your own car, why would you need a car note? And it's like they build cars every year. There's like a billion cars, like 3 billion cars on the face of this earth. But the majority of the people don't know how, have no idea how to build a car. And it's the most prevalent form of transportation on the face of this earth. Yet nobody knows how to build their own car. That's by design.
Yeah, man, they're on self-driving cars and high-tech mobile phones, and we ain't even on apples and oranges yet.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
uh, very reliant on the internet at the same time, and that shit cuts out. We become a lot of us become like soy boys. You know, like reliant on having the internet to be able to work, and we assume the internet's just going to be there indefinitely, but it doesn't take much but pulling the plug on that to set people back into. I don't know if you watched Leave the World Behind film.
What's your
Um,
take on that movie? Because I did watch it. What is your take on that movie?
Man, that's really deep. That was really deep.
Oh, but
I
it's
don't know
like,
if you noticed the backgrounds kept changing. People, that's like one big thing. The paintings in the background constantly changed. The wallpapers constantly changed, and it was like,
wow, that's Hollywood. That's cryptic Hollywood.
oh
Because
yeah,
I was only focused on the story and all of that, but I wasn't like focused on what was going on in the background. Wait, you telling me that that picture changed and that picture changed?
all all of the wallpaper, like in the bedroom, there's water on the wallpaper in the back of the bedroom, the main master bedroom, and there's water, and it just keeps rising
Mm.
as the story keeps going, and it's like a big, it ends up as a big flood. Um, but yeah, it's a very interesting take on some kind of a civil war, which I think is imminent in the USA. I think after
Imminent.
this
Imminent.
eclipse,
Imminent.
yes,
Imminent.
yeah,
The Civil War never left, bro. The Civil
Yo,
War never left.
that's true, that's true. But say like a reboot, mostly based on media, what the
Hmm.
media will show. I don't think it'll be anything real, but it will seem real. And if they do another lockdown, then that would be perfect place and position to put us in front of the televisions. Look, they cut off the internet, and then they say just stay tuned to your television and we'll tell you what to do next. And it's
Exactly.
like that
Exactly.
becomes the new internet, and people are just like, oh, but
Yeah.
the little girl's like, she just wants to watch the end of Friends.
Mm,
And, and like, that's literally the mentality people are in right now. It's like, I just want to watch my show.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the Leave the World Behind is actually an anagram for Behold the End War Live.
Yep.
Sorry, anagram? What's it when yeah, anagram.
Yeah, man. Like, let's not focus on the words. Let's focus on the concepts, right? Because the words, I think the words are there to control us, right? But if you understand, if I understand what you're saying, bro. Like, it's conditioning. At the end of the day, it's conditioning. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Why do they put out another slave movie every 2, 3 years? It's a new slave movie to come out to reinforce this whole notion that black people were shipped overseas, right, with no
Mhm.
nautical, no GPS, no technology whatsoever. But black people were shipped overseas in boats. Now, think about it. If you were to fly from America, let's not even say America. Let's not even say America because let's say they actually went to like the Caribbean because that's what the books say, right? They went to the Caribbean, dropped off the Caribbeans there, you know, uh, took a deep breath and then took them to America or whatever. That is still like a 6 month trip, bro, on a big ass wooden boat. Like there's no refrigerators on the boat. There's no plumbing on the boat, right?
Hmm.
Like the story starts falling apart because they were supposed to be so primitive. But here's the thing. What if they weren't primitive? What if they had the means to do it? But now they're just selling us this primitive narrative. Like back in the day, they didn't have that when Tesla was like building machines that can suck energy out the air.
Well, I watch a guy from India, and he goes to a lot of the Indian temples, and if you look at the technology they had, well, if you just look at the temples, you can tell, well, these people definitely weren't doing this with chisels and shovels and
Exactly.
your basic
Exactly.
equipment.
Exactly.
Um,
So like there's I don't know if you guys like I'm into conspiracy videos and I'm just going to speak on it cuz like I mean I'm only sharing what I've seen and I'm not trying to give anybody advice. And I'm not even trying to influence anybody. I don't want to be an influencer. I just want to be a man of the people, right? But I came across not too long ago. It was a documentary and I love a good conspiracy documentary. I love it because it's like, oh, you're not going to get this on MSNBC or you're not going to get this on Fox 5 or you're not going to get this on any of the mainstream. Where you're going to get it from is somebody who is like, okay, I can't help it. I've got to put this out there. But it's a and I'm just gonna say I'd be reluctant because like people start looking at you, but that's what I get from people in my everyday life. But my TikTok life is different, so I'll be more confident in saying it. You
mhm.
know, it's it's a documentary called "The Lost History of Flat Earth."
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen plenty such documentaries. I might have come across. How old is the video?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak on that, but I came across it. Maybe here's the thing. I came across it when the whole world shut down. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Okay, recently.
it's like you see like wow, but you know I don't see any of this stuff for myself. So like when you see it on either YouTube or you see it on MSNBC or Fox 5 or anything like that, mainstream, I mean, everything at that point is like, oh, well, it's from a credible source, right? So if somebody just in their basement makes a documentary, like, is that a credible source?
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily. I think I've been researching into that topic since 2014, and we uncovered that there was something called the Atlantean conspiracy. That it was basically released by one man, Eric Dubay,
Okay.
and he single-handedly came out with a lot of information all at once, and that information was
Privy
I'm not
to
going
all
to say
of
it's
those.
impossible for one man.
You say what? I'm sorry.
He came out with a lot of information all at once
Uh-huh.
that basically led us, me and a group of people, led us to think that he was what you call a um, what do you call a dialectic, like a controlled opposition,
Right. And I,
misinformation. So they release
and they did it.
information to create
Yeah.
dialectics, whether it's true or not,
Yep.
you know.
They call
And
them they call them agents, right?
yeah,
And I think this is a good caveat because it's like seeing through the veil. That's what I probably should have named this live. Seeing through the veil, right?
the
And
digital veil,
huh?
the digital veil.
Yeah, man, because it's not real. Like back in the day before they had TV, they had to create they had to work harder to create the veil. But now everything's on TV, right? So the veil is all digital, like you say.
Yeah. I mean, people take it as a window and not a filter, you know.
That is entertainment.
Yeah.
They take it as real. Like for instance, we're talking about flat Earth, right? Like, uh, call me crazy, but I'm not here to say that the world, and like I'm not even gonna say the world, the Earth, right? Because there's a difference between the Earth and the world, right? The world is global. That's all like what they're trying to wrap us under New World Order. The world, the New World Order. What is a world?
It's a whirlwind.
It's a whirlwind, right? Right? It's like, man, like the words that they use are intentional. They're not happenstance, you know?
Revolutions, constant revolutions.
Right? Right. And then you come across all kind of new shit every day on TikTok. Excuse my language. You come across all kind of new stuff on TikTok every day. Every
Yeah.
day. I saw something like there's portals in your bloodstream now. You know, like I just seen this one. One of my homeboys sent me a video. We was talking about there's portals in your bloodstream, and like the eclipse that's coming up. You know, like, oh, it's gonna open up all kind of portals in your body, and if you're not a star seed, you're just gonna fall deeper. I was like, man, come on, man. I'm not trying to. I can't take this in right now. This is too much.
So, does anyone know the truth at this point?
Um, there's certain things that I think there's certain things that are objective, and then there's certain things that we have to admit that we don't have enough information, and we're relying on authorities, screens, history books, scientists. Yet I think we are the only scientists that exist because I have to verify something for myself as the only real scientist in my life. I have to measure, repeat, observe, verify, zetetic science. I think people are worshiping scientism. Like, oh, yeah, you're not an expert in the field. You're not, that's not science. I think science should be something you do. What's it, an adjective instead of a naming word and things like this. I think people are just stuck in a realm of belief for the most part, and instead we should be honorable. As I think honorable people rather would say, either I know or I don't know, and I think that's the only the most honorable position to take as a skeptic. It's easier to disprove things than to prove them.
See? Wow. Wow, that was good. And like, here's the thing: like, you can relate that back to the courts, right? The burden of proof is on them; it's not on you.
Right.
They're telling you. They're telling you what the truth is, right? They're telling you that we live on a ball that's spinning around a sun, right? Until you ask them, like, well, it feels like the Earth is pretty stationary, sir. Like, sir, ma'am, or whatever. You know, like until you try to rebut it. Everybody takes it as truth because no one rebuts it. It's presumptions. And that presumption lasts. That presumption is in every facet of our lives. You better file your taxes, right? Why?
Oh
But if
yeah,
you object to that, you're the one that is not okay. Either you're mental or you're a vigilante. I mean, insert many negative terms to that.
Right? A terrorist, a sovereign citizen. I
a
mean, we could
denialist.
a
That's the big
denialist,
one.
a conspiracy theorist. We could go down the list, right?
A
But we
conspiracist.
a
Yes.
racist. And that's the thing, man. Like, here's the thing, right? And then we're seeing that right now. And it's got a whole bunch of white folks shook to not be honest about how they feel, you know? And as long as you don't hate your neighbor, bro, like, talk your mind, bro. Like, man, I might get flack from the black folks, man, but it's like, man, I meet a bunch of white folks that I love. It said, you know,
Charleston White.
you see what I'm saying? I shoot pool. Like, I'm a pool player, right? So, amongst other things, because I'm not gonna just adhere to that one thing. But I like shooting pool, and I'm pretty damn good at it, right? So like, I get to shoot pool, and I get to meet a bunch of people, black, white, Asian. I don't even like saying black and white, man. It's because those are Crayola colors, and
Yeah.
and it's like and it's like we don't come out of a box. We come out of a womb. You know what I mean? In that
And then
womb, we come
when
out
we
of.
come into this womb, the earth is another form of a womb that we get born again into, and then the tomb is another womb.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, but I'm listening to you, bro. Like, you cooking. Go ahead.
No, no, I was just cutting in, man.
Hmm. But it's true, right? Like, the Earth is its own organic force, right? And we are our own organic forces. Like, it comes down to the concept that we are islands walking around on the water, on land, right? Because everything underneath us is water, right? Everything underneath us is water until you get to the land, because there's got to be land underneath there, because what's holding the water down there? It's got to be land. It has to be. It's just pure conceptual, logical thinking, right? We live in a cup. We are living in a cup, not a globe, but a cup, because water always finds its level, right? And I don't want to get into the flat earth stuff. I mean, believe it if you want to, but if you let the TV tell you that we're floating through space, man, like, I've got to see it. And it's like, here's the thing: when all these what you call them, these shuttle launches that you see,
Yep.
as soon as they reach a certain point, they switch to like the most crappiest, the most terriblest CGI that you have ever seen. Like, it's like it goes right back to Nintendo 64. Not even Nintendo 64, bro. It goes back to Nintendo. And you're watching this simulation going. I'm like, y'all ain't got nothing better than that. All this money y'all making, y'all ain't got nothing better than that.
It goes back to
Except
the
satellites.
What's that?
satellite.
Except satellites, or supposed rocket that's launched. I
Right.
mean, we haven't come very far from that first landing on the moon, if that happened.
Mm.
Oh man, dude, what do you guys know about that? Like, let's get into conspiracy theories. Let's just call this the conspiracy theory because I'm look. Here's the thing, right? If you're going into court, and you're arguing with fictions, you are involved in a conspiracy theory.
It's
It-
crazy.
yeah, because it's not real. It's not real until I mean it is a theory until yet proven, right? And the only way they prove it is by throwing you in jail, and you feel that realness of being in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels real.
So, how many opinions do they hear and then they just pick one? And, most of the time it's the one that they're going to benefit the most from. I think that's human nature.
It is, but it's human nature. Like the to me, the human nature aspect of it is that you will fight to protect yourself, and we are taught to do that by way of arguing.
Yep.
No, I didn't do that. No, you did that. Like you ever see two kids fighting? Mine.
And we're
It's
commanded
mine. No,
to
it's
come in
mine.
peace. We're
You say what?
commanded to come in peace. We are commanded to come in peace.
But like I'm saying though, look at two children, right? Like I go to my brother's house. He's got a daughter and a son, right? And the son is used to the son because he's the oldest is used to having everything, right? But now the daughter came in, the little angel that came in, but she wants her share too. But the son is so used to having everything that he doesn't want to share. But the daughter is just like, wait, I should have my share, right? And then they fight, but they don't know how to share because they're children. They don't know how to be diplomatic. They don't know that the fact that you're not my enemy, right? So what do? They go right into fighting, causing controversy, arguing, fussing. And that's what we do when we're going in these courts. Like, I don't know if y'all seen this whole Chile de Castro. Are y'all familiar with Chile de Castro? He's like one of the auditors that is pretty popular on YouTube right now.
No, never heard of it.
Well, all right. Well, he's a big guy. He's done like Miss Martial Arts. I mean, I'm only saying what he said. I'm not trying to talk for him. But he's a big dude. So like he's a big dude and he goes out and he messes with the cops and the cops ain't trying to mess with him because he's a big dude. But there's a video that was just released of Chile de Castro going to court and being arrested on contempt because why? He called the cops pigs and he was being belligerent in the court, right? But what did Chile de Castro? I mean, this guy, he had a lawyer. He had a lawyer. He was arguing statutes. I mean, like I'm watching this like this is theater. This is all theater. And I'm not trying to shit on Chile. Like, man, if you want to come at my channel, I will just say like I would love to debate him if he would, because to me, from what I've learned in 5 months on being on TikTok, I would never go into that courtroom and do what he did. And the fact that he did what he did, just to me, like he's either a lawyer, he's either a bar card Gil, he's an agent, he's whatever you want to call him. But he's just somebody who's giving life to the court system. And these sovereign citizen videos is doing nothing but giving life to it. And I spent 5 months just putting video after video of it. Like, I feel like I got to delete all of it because I gave life to it. And it's all fake. And it's like, here's the thing. It's all fake. They're acting. They're acting like they're doing justice. But all they're doing is business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And like, I want to delete all of it, but I'm not gonna delete it because that's my journey. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No different than friendships.
Right.
We should be testing those as well.
And people
You're not
get
the
mad
same
at me
person you
because
were yesterday.
like people are getting mad at me like because of late. It's like people just want to state their case because they spent so much time learning all this stuff and and gathering all this evidence, and they just want to speak their case to the fact that okay, that's great, bro. Just put that on the shelf if you need it, and attack what they're actually doing. And it's like I can't put it into words like some of these people on TikTok, but all I'm just saying is this: we know when we go into that courtroom, they're not they're not doing anything that's lawful. All they're doing is legal stuff, right? And legal, like I mean, if you follow David Straight or not, like the guy says, legal is the undoing of I don't like saying God, but the Most High. It's undoing of the Most High's law, right?
Nature's law. Hmm.
Right, the natural law. Because here's the thing: I don't care. I don't care what men say. If you can't go against the Most High, you cannot, right? But you can go against whatever man says all the time, and you might get off if you get a lawyer. You pay him enough money, right? Here's the thing, right? Is that real? It's not. How can another man or woman
No.
tell? How can another man or woman tell you what to do? How can another man or woman tell you what to do? And that's what it is. If everybody thought like that, if everyone just had that pure foundation, and I don't care if it's what challenging jurisdiction or we gonna disqualify the judge or I'm the executor of the office and all of this stuff that they put in place so we can properly manage our own affairs. I'm saying, how the hell, excuse my language, how in the world can another man or woman tell you what to do? Period. Period.
That's what most of the world is based on, is other people's ideas. I mean, the biggest question is like, are your thoughts your own? And
So like,
um,
so not now, so like that. I agree with that, bro. Because here's the thing: where you gonna get your ideas from? Because you're born with a clean slate, right? So you gotta collectivize all the ideas, aggregate it, and then you put it in your own little meat grinder and make you a little ham sandwich, and then you eat that. You know what I mean?
mhm.
All I'm just saying is your life experiences will shape and mold you, but at the end of the day, what's your name? What is your first name? My first name is Nigel. If you don't want to give it to me, you don't have to.
Damien.
Damien. Damien, right? Say you're walking down the street, right? You maybe you're pushing your baby in a stroller, you're walking your dog, or you're going to you're just walking down the street, minding your own business. And I just come out of nowhere. I come out of nowhere. I say, "Sir, Damien, give me your ID." Right? And I don't have nothing on but regular clothing. You can be like, man, who the hell are you, man? Like, leave me alone. You're gonna want to call the police on me. But if I got a police outfit on, it's a whole
Mhm.
different story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you go into that courtroom and that judge got like that black robe on, and you see all these folks, and there's at least six police officers. When I went into my court case, there was at least six police officers in there. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to wrestle all these. I got things to do, man. And I'm old. I'm old, man. And like they gonna like dislocate something if I try to wrestle with these folks, man. I ain't got the time for it.
Yeah, you're at their mercy. You're in their home.
Yeah. My thing is this. That's the only thing I'm gonna focus on from now on. I'm not gonna nature and cause and constitutions and all these concepts that someone else, some other man or woman put into place. Right? I'm only gonna focus on the concept that come from the Most High, and that's like slavery is against the Most High's will. And how can they
Why does it do that?
I don't know. He must have paused it.
Oh,
Okay,
my phone was dying and I like the little thing came on. I came on the coffee. Sorry.
no problem.
No, my thing is this, like, I don't know. I will just say this and then I'll open the floor back up. There's no way on earth, and like, if anything, I'll just drill this in everybody's mind. 'Cause this is where I'm coming from, and this is just how I think. I'm not trying to get anybody no advice. I'm not trying to influence anyone because I don't want to be an influencer. Okay. All I'm saying is, how can another man and woman tell you what to do? And if they proclaim to have the authority,
That
Mm-hmm.
the court system cares anything about your
My bad.
relationship with your child. Fortunately, a lot of men come in.
Influenza, viral influenza
you
instead
see
of
what I'm saying?
influencer.
Viral is a spread. Viral is a spread. Influenza is the influence.
Very
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I think the next lockdown will be digital and it will be about minds. It will be about influence. I think Elon Musk is the fall guy. I think Twitter is the platform that is going to be the book burning of the internet.
I love that. I love that. The book burning. Because I think that happens every age, I would say. Just so they can erase what has happened so they can shape what will happen in the future to those who have the knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that the school system, I don't care what country you in, we all know that the school system is a bunch of bullshit now. Because we don't all worked our whole motherfucking life, and some of us went to college, some of us spent all that money, some of us went into debt to get that knowledge. What knowledge was it? It was the knowledge of being a slave.
Mm.
They didn't tell you that you could claim your estate. They didn't tell you that there's such thing as abandoned property. You know what I mean? They didn't tell you such things as assumed names and DBAs and all of this stuff that I've learned in like the last 2 months, people. In
And
the last two
trust.
months.
They don't teach you anything about trust or trading
There
or
you go. And how you should have a revocable trust if you're managing your daily affairs. All your asses go into the irrevocable trust, right? Look, we gonna agree on this now. We ain't never gonna change our mind. That's all it means. But if you live in your everyday life, if you ever leave, well, maybe I want to do that. Maybe I got to do that, because you're living life. Like life is immutable, right? Like what today, happens today won't happen tomorrow. This is only my understanding, people. Please do not take this as advice. And let's all speak about it. And I'll shut up now. I give the floor to those who want to speak. Don't get shy now, people. Come on now.
okay, so going back to trust, or we can just go as simple as the birth certificate. You know, why weren't we taught that, or for decades, it's never even been mentioned. None of my family, some worked in government, some law enforcement, some business. Trust has never been discussed. Trading commodities, none of that was taught or talked about, especially in school. But let's just say in family or communities. You go to your banker or you go to the probate lawyer in town, and they still don't tell you. They're going to make sure they know where you're putting your estate.
Then you have the local city governments that know where your estate is and what you owe on it. And, they're going to come out and see if they can raise the taxes, etc.
Right.
We're
Like,
not taught about any of that.
right.
It's how the illusion of power is maintained.
Right.
Has to be through guilds, old school guilds and families and things like this. Without it, there is no poor and rich. In a sense, it's just prosperity. Instead, they teach us the rules of monopoly capitalism instead of prosperous capitalism, where you help your brother because your brother has more abilities than you,
Mm.
and you help him, and you help the other one, and you help the other one, and
And your sister.
instead they got us divided and competing with each other instead of trying to be better. I mean, I think they just taking us so far away from nature. I think that's the main aim, is like make sure they don't know who they are, what they are, or where they are.
Wow. Hey, dog, that's full circle right there, what you just said. Bro, that's full circle what you just said. Do you realize that? Who they are, what they are, where they are.
Mhm.
So
Right?
matrix, yeah.
Right. So, like, who are you? Right? What are you? Are you a human being?
No sir, it's having issues. Hello, supremacy clause.
Oh, sorry, man. Like, my phone keeps dying. I keep unplugging it because I like walking around.
I'm doing the same thing, man, because I was like,
Yeah.
the topic had me shaking a little bit in the beginning. Now I've calmed down a bit.
Man, let's build, bro. Let's build.
I think it
I
was
love.
just energy. It's just pure energy from just talking to someone that's just as calm as me. I think it resonates, you know.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing: how many people in your immediate circle, people you can perceive outside of a black mirror, right? How many people around you actually you can talk to about this stuff? Boy, I gotta go live, man. I can't wait to go live.
Truth. Truth.
Man, I mean, like, cause I'm a pool player, so like I go to the pool halls, and I go to all the pool halls just to see, if I can find new people to motivate me to play better. You know what I mean? Just like I get on live and look for more like-minded people to make me study harder.
Yeah,
Man, I love y'all, man. I gotta say that I love y'all.
And I
man.
love y'all too. I don't know
I
what I
look
would do
forward.
without the support.
I look forward to seeing intellectuals go live because there's just so much stupid content out there, and unfortunately, we be lapping it all up. And like,
Yes.
how are these people so confident and they haven't got, a brain cell or half a brain cell, and they're so confident, and it's the ones who are the thinkers,
My thing is this. My thing is this. If Here's the thing, and that's a good word that you used too. You said confident, right? These people are so confident, right? And don't get me wrong, I love them to death. I love all of them to death because seemingly they've done more work than I have, right? It's seeming. It's seeming because I mean, it's not even seeming because I haven't done any of it. But if someone can get on your live and just start cooking, right? Like, they got the ingredients and they putting it into the pot. They get their wooden ladle and they stir that and you can smell it and it smells good. And you're like, man, I never heard this before and this is great. More power to them, bro. Because here's the thing. They ain't doing nothing. They're not doing nothing but like kindling that fire in your mind that like, wait a minute, I did not know this.
Mhm.
And why wasn't I taught this? These people have a purpose, right? But what is their purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like knowledge should be free, but no one's time is free, right?
Yeah.
So like if these people spent their time to get the knowledge, man, here's the thing, bro. I met this one guy. I'm not gonna put his name out there, right? I met this one guy, and I was like, man, you really cooked today, bro. I really appreciate that. And I was just like, yo, let me send you, let me cash app her. He's like, nah, man. He said I do the work of the Most High. Or I don't like to say God or anything because the letter G just came into the effect like not too long ago. And what was people saying before that?
Yod
I don't know. I don't know. So like we
or
gotta
Hud.
take it.
Hud. Apparently, the word God came from Hud. Like
Mhm.
Huda. Huda is I think a Persian god,
Mm.
a Persian whatever deity.
Apparently, you know, like I'm not gonna speak on anything. Like I like the Most High because it's above all of us. You know what I mean? And just like how they ask you to understand, right? What's at the top of understanding? The Most High, bro. The Most High. It's the reason why we're all here. And I don't understand nobody but the Most High because that's where we came from. And the government's underneath us. The government is supposed to be there to serve us. But then, you know, like the government creates citizens, residents, persons, and all these other classifications and estates. Even the estate. You think somebody came out the womb talking about, well, I'm going to claim my estate? No. I don't know about y'all, but like the more I learn, the more I get angry. But the more I learn, the more I feel empowered, though. You know what I mean? Because I'm not I'm not the one to be like, oh, 15 USC 72B C dot. I'm not gonna do all that because that's for them. If you want to be on that side, you learn that stuff. I'm just like I'm just trying to stick on the concept. The concept of the fact of the matter is who are you? Who are you? And how in the hell, excuse me, how in the world do you proclaim to have any kind of authority over me? How can you write your authority over me?
If we're silly enough to accept their authority without questioning it, then I guess
Yep.
those who are stupid enough to be deceived, so be it. Just like the old Roman laws and all that.
Right, that's a maxim of law. That's a maxim of law, right? It goes, for he who shall be deceived, let him. Let him.
Mm.
Because if you want to be ignorant, that's not on me, that's on you. Because look, there's a library, there's a law library in every county.
Mm, not
Look,
necessarily.
really, really.
No. No, not in every county.
Libraries are being closed down in my area, and
No,
like
we have a
just new.
library, but we do not have a law library in this county. And just around me in Texas, there are several.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to drive, an hour and 20, 30 minutes to get to the closest law library that is only open from 8 to 5. And it's inside a courthouse.
Yes. The one I'm talking about is inside of a courthouse. Not only is it inside of a courthouse, but it is inside the courthouse that I had to go to every day for my court case. You know? And there's no law library books or law books in say the library that's right around the corner. I can walk to it.
That's right.
I could walk to it.
Most people just go to the library to use the internet anyway. Get on computers.
Right, but I'm not against the internet, man. I'm
Oh yeah, no.
right. You
But
know what I'm saying?
even a law dictionary would, be somewhat sufficient. But the local libraries
Right.
don't have that available.
You remember microfiches?
Yes.
What's that?
The
Micro
micro
beats.
when you could go in and pull the film and look at them under the projector.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I'm getting ready to handwrite some documents, and I'm like, I'm just gonna print them. Here's the thing, right? Because who wants to handwrite anything? Oh my God. So I'm going to print the document, right? Just like I would if I was gonna print it and send it and not handwrite it. And then I'm going to get a clear unprinted on paper, just a blank sheet of paper, put it on top of it. And I was just gonna put it on the coffee table because it's got a glass on it, and just put a flashlight underneath it, just so I can trace over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like what you were just talking about with the microfiche. I think that's like an amazing way that we can start handwriting our letters, because handwriting is like there's sorry.
It's a ritual.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
rite.
I'm
A
starting to
lot
get like
of
a little like.
a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
a lot of people who are locked away, their only option is to handwrite, a writ or anything that they want to plead for to try to get before a judge.
But you know
And
what?
I know there's been several talks, in the last few days amongst, peers that, we should probably send some of these forms to them. So, I mean, that can be beneficial in more than one way, not just for their own personal gain, but maybe they can write it out for someone that doesn't know how to. Or maybe they can all come together, after a game of dominoes or whatever, and, you know, write something up to help one or two or three, or just give it a try, learn.
The biggest thing about handwriting is that nothing else can handwrite something, right? This is the whole thing about electronic signatures, right? That's why they want your electronic signature, just so they can print it out later. They don't have to get your signature, and you've already consented to it. Because I don't know if you've ever done an electronic signature, you have to consent to the fact that you're giving them an electronic signature, meaning that they could just put that on any form they want to.
Wow.
Or reject it for any reason they want to.
Well, I mean, that too, but the reason why they're getting your electronic signature is just so they can print it off as they need to. They don't have to call you, they don't have to get your express written consent. You've already consented to it, and we have your electronic signature. That's why wet ink is so powerful. Because like I'm executing this will right now, and you will do my will. You know what I mean? You will do my bidding, because the government was created for us, not the other way around.
And ultimately, our voices have to get stronger, and we have to help one another, most importantly, to come together and be a stronger voice. Because yes, one voice can be heard, but when you have a whole system that is full of people that are working for that system, not against it,
Mm-hmm.
but for it,
Mm-hmm.
then us as peers of one another, I think is just essential. Mr. Difficult, what you're doing is great. You got Joe, there are so many that are sharing what they learn. And everyone's story is individual, but that's how we help our voices get stronger,
Mm-hmm.
not being greedy.
Mm-hmm. Because we're all
I like
supposed to
it, man,
live in
because it's like you
abundance.
have a little think tank here. And I think when it comes to misinformation, disinformation within legalese and these processes and principles and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to have a think tank that we, we can sift through the bullshit in a sense,
Yep.
and because it's too much for one person. Just like the news, they create 48 hours worth of news in 24 hours. It's too much for one person to consume, and you think you learn one thing, and then tomorrow they put this 48 hours worth of news, and you're trying to sift through, and you're like, well, everything I learned yesterday means nothing. um
And like, bro, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but that is a great analogy. That is a great analogy because here's the thing, right? What does the news exist for? It is to put information out, right? In the news, even in Hollywood movies, they'll just show you how these people are so desperate to get something out. They'll put anything out, even in the movies.
yeah.
And it's
I
like,
mean,
well, so what's real? And then like there was some act I can't remember what it was called, and it was passed during Obama, right? That it made I can't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head because I'm not good like that. I'm not like the Joe Luscas and or like what I mean. I can't just spit shit off my head like that. But it made propaganda legal, not lawful, but legal.
mm,
So they can put it whatever the hell they want because why? The news ain't real. It's entertainment. The courts ain't real. It's acting. It's theater. They have to portray like they're like actually doing like judicial stuff. But what are they actually doing? They're banking. They're doing business.
Yeah.
Well, they get paid to do business and argue, and the more you argue, the higher your bill is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was married to a card holder. So, I know how sick and twisted it is.
Was he? I'd hate to like I mean because I don't get into the family stuff, but you said he was an attorney, so we can go into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Because here's the thing, right?
Another fictional character.
They are actors. They're esquires,
They
right?
are.
The king sits there and watch the theater. Like I saw something the other day, and like just to go off on a tangent, but that's relevant. How Tupac Shakur was just an actor, right?
yes, sir.
He could have been just an actor. If you've seen him on TV, I never met Tupac in real life,
Mm,
and I don't think there's a whole lot of people who have, right? The guy was an actor, like Denzel Washington, right? Because you only see these people on TV, unless you go to the concert, and wow, now you get to see him in real life. Oh my God. Oh my God, you got people falling out watching Michael Jackson. You remember that shit in the 90s?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And Elvis.
And Elvis and all of that. These people are quote unquote larger than life. And what is life? What is life? Life is being stuck in a meat sack. Your soul is stuck in a meat sack. You're given life. But what does life mean? We got to look up life. What does that mean?
mm.
Life must mean toiling the earth.
It's what you make of it.
It's what you make of it. Right? We are here to make things, right? That's why I'm like saying making money because money comes from the earth. We can't make money, but we can
We don't
raise
need
money.
money. I
We
mean,
don't
how can
need
you charge
money.
for natural resources?
What's that?
How can you charge for a natural resource?
This is what I'm saying. You can't.
Yeah,
That's why you can't make it, but you can raise it. You can raise it from the earth
correct.
and give it to the people and let them manage their affairs, right?
That's what I say.
Um, yeah, and it's well weighted, right? And there's no corruption because there's only a set amount, right? But that could cause controversy too because you got more than me, right? But we are meant to live in abundance.
Fucking right.
So the Merriam-Webster definition of life is the quality that distinguishes a vital and functional being from a dead body.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wait, read
Ain't
that
that
again.
something? Oh,
Okay,
beautiful.
there's actually A, B, and C. A is the definition for life, the quality that distinguishes a vital and functional being from a dead body.
Wow.
So B is a principle or force that is considered to underlie the distinctive quality of an innate being.
Mm.
And then C, an orgasmic state characterized by capacity for metabolism.
Wow.
Ain't that something? Thank
Wow.
you.
Well, we could break that down though. Like, what is metabolism?
Well, it says growth, reaction to stimuli, and reproduction.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
The
our gut
ability,
is everything. It's our immune system as well.
right? It's the ability to have life and create life.
Uh,
But like now these people are creating life, but these lives don't have no soul. They're not alive. They're just operating. That's why they want to use that word operating so much. Like these people in the courts are not living, they're operating. It's almost as if they're being controlled.
They are pretty much like a robot.
I don't think these people have souls, bro. Like I looked at my prosecutor and it's a black woman, right? It was a black woman. And like I'm not saying like that, like, oh, if it was a white woman, like that's any better. But you supposed to be my sister though, Like, look, power to the people, the civil rights movement, all that stuff that black people went through, right? And I don't even like saying black people. I'm just saying black people just to be colloquial, okay?
Yeah.
But then say like a white woman goes in there and another white woman is going after her. She's like, damn, sis, I thought we was cool. We got to stick together.
Yeah, I would like to say I thought the truth meant something. What's happening
Exactly.
here?
You see what I'm saying? It don't matter what you are, who you are, all that stuff, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Salt.
No, that's it. Just that's what I want to say when I walk in the court and they're arguing over non-factual. And it's like a production of theater.
Hmm.
You can't make basic common sense of what's happening, what's being said. You don't understand it. And yeah, I'm convinced that they really don't either. They
No,
just
they
have
don't. You're
their,
right about that.
yeah, they just have their own, that's why they stick to their
Their little
closest judges
their
and
procedures. Yeah.
courthouses.
They
Yes,
stick to their procedure.
that's
Uh-huh.
right. And outside of that, the truth means nothing. And, I can't look at another man or woman and understand why are y'all letting this happen? I
We got a
mean,
shortage because
what
we
does
got a
this
shortage
have
of
to do with
tampons.
rights?
Too many pussies.
Yeah.
Well, no. So here's the thing, right? It's not even
Yeah.
like because we all of us will say, oh, because they're making money, right? And I'm like, oh, it's all business. But like, I'm like, what does business mean? Busyness, right? That means to me that means slave labor. it's busyness is what it is. But we say business. It's busyness, right? Like so like I'll equate it to this cuz I lived it before I had my great awakening, I would say. Okay?
Right.
Because I was working in a the corporate sector, right? Like I was sitting in a cubicle and I was building casino slot games, okay? And
Wow, that's cool.
so like here's the thing, right? In 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 the office, they want you, excuse me, in this company, they wanted me to be in the office, right? Instead of like because I got fired from like three different casino companies because I'm like, well, I can do all of this from home. Why do you want me in the office? Right? It's that busyness. Because here's the thing. If they can bring all the investors in there and they can see all the workers in there buzzing, it makes it seem more than it's actually worth. Look at all these people conducting this busyness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these slaves in here.
But here's the fucked up thing: we own all those corporations.
No, we don't. No, we
Yeah, we
don't.
do. Yes, we do through our trusts. Hey, has anybody checked out the Treasury Direct?
Which part?
Okay, listen. I've been studying this for a long time. I've been sitting back and listening to everybody and then researching that. I'm going to try something, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want, until I do it. But I think I'm about to do it. You hear me, guys? And I'm free. I'm going to tell everybody, their brother, their sister, every freaking buddy. And everybody's going to help. I think I fucking figured it out. I think I figured it out. I know I did 3 years ago, but I didn't want to screw anything up. My hair's standing right now on the back of my spine. It's all there in black and white. They've got a user guide too. I ain't jumping circles to no fucking thing. We don't have to really, if you see how simple it really is. You don't have to certify this and all them people. All them people, I'd like to choke some of them motherfuckers. You got to do this. You get your birth certificate certified the minute you get it. And that's not the birth certificate they want. They have the birth certificate with the blood from our foot. When they coerced our poor mother who was in shock. I mean, gentlemen, you have no clue. Well, imagine shitting out a watermelon out your asshole. That's how it feels for a woman. Okay? Pull your lips around your ass and back up. Yeah, you're in shock. I'm perturbed by that. And I choose not to do business with any of them.
Do busyness.
Yeah.
Busyness. Like
I got some
train your
busy.
mind. To me, I say this to everybody because okay, like mortgage, like I don't say mortgage anymore. I say mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like represent.
It's a debt. It's a debt instrument.
Well,
And I think.
I'm just saying, like the words they use, they switch the pronunciations. You know what I'm saying? And we could break down pronunciation.
Yeah.
Because you got pronoun in there, you can see pronoun in there. So like, let's figure out what the ciation part is, right? That's where the magic comes in because they magically administer your straight, right?
Yeah. Good for them, right? Hey, and I also
right.
I can give a crap what they got to say. Anyways, I also know how to endorse the negotiable instruments too. If it's digital, I could send you. See, I hate TikTok for a reason because you can't share any visual shit or links.
You can't.
But
And that's by design. That's a good point.
yeah, well, we're gonna design our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't no punks. But yeah, it's pretty simple actually. For presentation to the United States Treasury, comma, fiscal agent of the United States for redemption or in exchange for securities of new issue in accordance with written instructions submitted by, you make your own little thing. Digitally, it's on YouTube. And if you want to do it with a stamp, you do it with a stamp. You can make a stamp. But you always make sure that you put it up over their, their name, because then you have authority.
All right.
But
Why?
yeah,
Like, hold on. Like, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. I gotta jump in here, right?
go ahead.
And I'm
I have
going.
a sister.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. That's all
Oh,
right. That's
oh my
no
goodness. Oh my
worries.
God. Oh, I can hear it now. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, dear. Don't worry about it.
You sound beautiful too. I'm
Well,
sorry.
thank you.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. Hey,
Oh my
listen.
God.
It's okay. People call me asshole.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew. But go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
so
okay, Pumpkin. Go ahead.
all right. So like, here's the thing, right? Oh
Mhm.
God, I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Well, I was talking about the endorsing of the negotiable instruments, and then I
Right.
was saying that I'm on to something really fun. I know it's fucking right. You hear me, guys? I
Right.
know it's right, and I
Right.
can't wait. But
Right.
I keep doubting myself, and I shouldn't, because we're bad motherfuckers. You know that?
We are. We
We all
are.
are.
We
We're all
are because
winners.
we are. We see the thing is we ain't about to just lay down and roll over, right?
Oh
Like
hell no.
I'm gonna like, okay, can I get a continuance so I can go and study up on this because and
Here's another thing too. Do you guys know those bid bonds, performance bonds, and payment bonds? That's human trafficking, labor trafficking. That's illegal as fuck. And I know how to liquidate your bonds. And I can even show you how to look them up. And it goes right. Like my girlfriend in Michigan, her case number it goes to Illinois Department of Transportation for a little project they have. Ain't that something? I know how to look it up. I know where you would not believe the shit that. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, the one, the all, the tree of life.
I recently got exposed to that too. Recently. And it was somebody who just was like he was like, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing and I want to help. Right? And I was just like I started crying on the phone, man.
Hmm. It's
Well,
very
we have
isolating.
you know why we can't figure it? Well, it's in a minor account because we never knew that we had to bring it up to, like we're, big kids now when we turned 18. Well, they didn't tell us shit, but haha, we know the rules to your games now, punk. And you have to start a primary account and then sync your minor to that. Then I'm going to do a full-fledged audit. I don't want to do this section, do the whole damn thing.
Right. And the word you use is forensic.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Thank you, my dear. How about I'm tired of their bullshit. Get on it. But I'm calling the Department of Labor tomorrow, and we're gonna turn in these. You wouldn't believe the shit I've been doing. I 3949 all the auto signs too. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, because I seen some of these shits auto sign by itself. I was like, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't have believed it. I was like, that's a crock of shit right there. And if you really want to get technical, you'll know exactly where I am because you listened to us on the phone for the last 10 years. Hello, everybody. You want to see a show? That's what I tell them every day. Oh yeah, they watch us. They've been listening. They know everything. I don't give a crap. But yeah, it's through the Treasury, guys. We haven't had a Treasury since 1927. We own the Treasury. And there's Treasury bills that we can exchange for fiat. And another thing about fiat, it's backed by the country who printed it. I'm getting credits or something. Because I got some Venezuelan, and I'm going to go do that Tuesday. I'm going downtown. So that way, if anybody really needs some help, I got this. They've got assistance for rent and this and that, and they have an offset, because what we really don't want to do is really screw up the public side, because we want equity on the private. And we're all going together. I ain't leaving nobody. Fuck that shit. And everybody that charges everybody, shame on them. Because God's got something for them too. You know what I'm saying? We all get what we deserve. And you know why? Because if you had your trust, you're charging people, so that means you're not in control. I always say that to them. Then I get blocked. Well, good. I'm
I
tired of
think you
that
should
crap.
create
People
a
ripping people
guild.
off. Claim the name. Don't claim the name. Don't do no foreign bullshit. Do not lie like they lied. We have no reason to commit fraud. We're taking what you took from us.
I think you should create a gilded server. It's a lot better than Discord. You can still do the same thing you're doing here and share links and everything.
Charlie, get your ass back in the house. My cat is on is in the backyard. He's like on the street.
Animals have been
I let my
acting
cat
really
out, man.
weird
I'm sorry,
lately.
guys. I let my cat out because
A lot of
Yeah,
people have been saying that.
I mean I let the animal do what he does, but like I don't want to.
the
But
flip.
like, can I build on what you were saying? Because I love what you're saying. Because like, here's the thing. You know, it gets that wooden spoon in that pot of sauce, and
Yep,
it
and
gets to
stir it up.
stirring. Because here's the thing, right? Stir it up, but like, here's the thing: they inundate us with all this stuff that we've got
Busyness.
to learn,
No, listen, it's
and
really
All
like,
not
the
that bad. All
busyness.
those rules and shit are for
right,
them.
busyness.
They're for them,
Thank
not
you,
us.
Salty. It's busyness. No, but it's busyness. They got us investing all this time learning this stuff. We on these lives talking about the wrong thing,
Honey,
right? That's why I'm posting
those rules are
videos.
for them
I don't.
jagoffs, not us.
They are, but the
I like the
concept,
28,
the
Title 28.
concept.
I wrote them down 20 times each. I know the 54 titles. 53 is reserved for LLC.
It's Voldemort. All of that is Voldemort.
Yeah, it's for
All
them.
that.
It's their rules, not us.
No, I understand that part too, right? And I was on that too. Like I'm not learning those codes even after I got to that point. I'm not learning that code. That's for you.
Yeah,
But
for
all
sure.
but even if you dig deeper than that, right?
Yeah.
All of those codes is just magic to govern your mente, right? Right? So to control your mind.
You know what I think it was? I thought they were talking in tongues where we couldn't understand them because we should have had freaking interpreters the whole time we were in court because I don't speak that shit.
Exactly. Disability.
Yeah, that's wrong
ADA,
as fuck,
ADA is
man.
on
No,
there.
See, y'all missing the point. We shouldn't even be in the courts in the first place.
I won't go in them motherfuckers.
You
The
see what
minute
I'm
you walk in the
saying?
door, you give them jurisdiction.
Well, you do,
Yeah,
right?
I don't got to do shit with them motherfuckers. I don't do business with them.
Because the venue, like, I don't even like getting into this, but anymore because I used to love it. And like, oh, I learned this and I can spit this back out and I can sound like I know what I'm talking about and I could probably sell something to somebody, you know?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is you're going into their court. They called you into their court. The envelope, the the letter inside the envelope,
Uh-huh.
everything they have listed has the venue on it. And it's the state of X whatever what especially if there's no victim, right?
Yeah. No
It's
face, no case.
no face, no case. No victim, no
Hello.
crime. But I like that though. No face, no case.
For real.
Hey, let's start. Let's make that into. That's your idea. You make it into a T-shirt, and I'll buy one.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't fucking even deal with these. I've been doing this shit since I was a kid. I had a really good social studies teacher. His name is Mr. Gerganis.
Uh-huh.
I didn't learn anything from the book. He said, throw that shit in the garbage. We talked about our rights the whole freaking time. And ever since I was a kid, I always stood up for my fucking rights because I knew him. He was an amazing teacher.
Right.
Great teacher. Because
Right.
children are empty computers. I question their programmers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Fucking right.
There's a lot of
Programmer.
us that never come across someone like that until you have a need for it. Unfortunately, you know.
Yep.
Well, kids should know how to purify water and shit like that. And no one has to sit like at jail, like in school. Fudge that. Move around. I can't sit still in school. I never could.
But like,
They used to try to slow me down. I was doing
slow you
calculus
down.
in fifth grade.
Slow you
Fucking,
down.
they put me in the library. I was so far ahead of the class.
Now they
He's
slap
like,
your ass on some medication at 3 and 4.
no, they ain't got, I'm not on no medication. I'm 55 years old. I run circles around 21-year-olds.
But this is what they do to our young children.
Oh, I got what you're saying, dear. And they have DCFS in all the schools. Who gives you the, here we go, and you give you the fucking authority. And the pedophiles that were in the schools, you should see how many were arrested in the past 2 years in Illinois. Holy shit.
It's rampant everywhere.
Yeah, well, that shit's about over. Because a bunch of us moms out here, we started a bunch of shit. And I told them, safety act, let them motherfuckers out of jail. When we tell them what you're teaching these kids in school, please let them out. I have a mother at every fucking jail showing them.
Well, like, here's the thing, right? Like, let me get this out because I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea instead of going into these courts and, oh, what's the nature and cause and what you, oh, you don't
Just
have.
don't go.
Well, like, if you go, like, because, like, I would go to ask certain questions that, like, I've been pondering on, right? Within the last day, right? So, like, say, for instance, instead of going in there and say, oh, I'm gonna still ask the question, like, um, can you speak your or can you recite your oath on the record or things that would bound them to their duties. I would still go through with that, but my next question is like, do I owe you a debt? Do I owe you a debt? Like, let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's not go through the nature and cause or anything legal because
I
that
know they deserve an ass
wait,
whipping.
wait, hold on. That gives life to the theater of what's going on in there. And we know it's not law. We know it's not law. They're doing business. Do I owe you a debt?
Athena. Sorry, that's my dog. Athena Marie.
Let's ask the judge, do I owe you a debt?
I think that's great.
Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's not go through any legal, like don't even think legal or lawful when you go in there. Think money. Why am I here? Do I owe you a debt? And if they ever say yes, which they probably wouldn't, but let's say they say yes. I say, well, ma'am, can you return my gold to me so I can pay it? Can you return my gold to me so I can pay it? Because unless you do, I'm forced to use a promise to pay because there is no money.
No. You wipe
Ma'am,
your ass
can
with
you
it.
return my gold to me so I can pay my debt? If you can't, then you who are acting as a government official, right? Why don't you fulfill your fiduciary responsibility and set this debt off? Because I'll go back to work so you can.
A fadouche.
So I'll go back to work so you can. You're wasting my time. I'm supposed to be out here making money because I'm full faith and credit of the American of the US dollar. I am full faith and credit. I am backing the dollar. So
You are.
let
They
me
even have numbers printed with your
right.
your
So let me
juice.
go. So let me go so I can give more credit to the dollar because you're holding the creditor right now.
Do you guys know we pay our own paychecks too out of our trust?
See, that's one thing that I was like, if you got to give your social security to get a job, are they paying you or is your social paying you? That's a
Our
good point.
social.
It must be. So like
It is.
every job that you've ever had, and it's like, he or she was such a great boss. I mean, were they swindling you the whole time?
I believe the government was, or who knows? It depends on if they're a corporation. You're probably, that depends. But we pay for our own paychecks. Yeah.
See, like just through theory, because I mean, so like to me, that can't go on without the people who own these business. The people who own these businesses, they can't just like not know that. How can they? How can they not know that?
Yeah. Right.
That is a great question because you can never get them to answer it.
Well, my dad ran a business, but I mean, by the time his business ended, it was like 90, it was like 2000 something. So like that was too long ago. Was my dad like not paying from his coffers? He probably wasn't. He just didn't know it.
But okay, so talk about bail bonds and whoever the clerk is of the county that does the treasury.
It's
They
a
they
con.
have to know. They
They do
know they're
know.
issuing bonds.
They do know, and they keep the books and they give it to the head one that's in New York.
So why do bonds
Exactly.
exist? Why do bonds exist in the first place? Why? Because there is no money. So like
It's securities.
how can they force you to pay a debt when there is no way to pay it? They use your body in exchange.
Yeah, it's
So how do they
human trafficking, labor trafficking.
right, but like here's the thing. How can they do that? Because slavery is illegal and unlawful. It's even illegal.
Because this is what I blame my own self because I was dumb and I didn't know.
No, I'm telling you right now how they do it. They say any violation of a statute is a crime.
Uh-huh.
So they can write as many crimes as they want to. They can literally write the crimes
Yes.
and
And
say
they
that if
do.
you violate this crime that we just wrote down, now you're a criminal. And now all of your rights are suspended.
Oh,
And if you argue it, they can amend whatever that charge is.
That's why we never argue, right?
Right.
unless you file a cross complaint and you become the prosecutor. You're the
But if
TTEE.
you're doing that, you're giving it life because would that court
You
case
ain't
have
even got to go to court. You can fill out a form and give it to
of
the
course. But if you do all that stuff, if you filing these motions, you're filing this, you're filing that, all you're doing is giving that court case life. All you're doing is giving that court case life. Period.
So how do
you
you
can
take
Would
away
you
the
can
life?
liquidate
it
your
would not
bonds.
exist. People, I love you to death. It would not exist if it wasn't not for you.
Exactly.
So how do you revoke this?
Revoke what?
Anytime that, let's say you're issued a ticket or you get a
Don't
summons
take
from
it.
court.
Don't take it. Don't take it.
Okay, so let's say they ignore your, I'm not taking it. And anything,
Keep the window crack. Too bad. Tell them to call their supervisor, whatever they got to do. But you ain't giving me shit.
You don't have to accept any gifts, and I
Fucking
think
right.
issued is for government, public service persons. The word issued, so soldiers get issued their boots and their guns and things like that. So
Yeah, my
no
mom told me not
gifts.
to talk to strangers or take something from strangers. You know what I
I
mean?
like that one. I like that one.
Mhm. So if you're brought into it by a false contract,
All
how do you
contracts are illegal.
establish that it's a false contract?
Yep, fucking right. I don't do business with them. They're all listen. They're all in the FARA. They're foreign agents. None of them have pretty much have their bonds. They don't protect the Constitution because they're a corporation, and corporations can't sue a person. They're a bank with their little black dresses.
You're
They're all
right,
fucking
they
weirdos,
can't,
actually.
but they do, and they will do anything to try to